Hello, my name is Matthew Nearly, and today I'm introducing a program for workers who are chemically dependent on nicotine. There are many dangerous products that nicotine can be found in, and with nicotine's highly addictive nature, it can cause various diseases that can result in premature death. This program will ultimately help workers addicted to these products and set them on the right path to a healthier life. God knows and understands the troubles we can face with addiction. Corinthians 10:13 says, "No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability, but with the temptation he will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it." This can be interpreted as, yes, God knows we will suffer through addictions and temptations, but God also knows we can fight it and overcome the temptations, ultimately bettering ourselves. Smoking is the most common preventable cause of death in the United States. Nicotine is not the cause of cancer often linked to these products containing nicotine, and is generally seen as harmless compared to the tobacco products. However, nicotine is not completely harmless and has been reportedly linked to heart disease and other cardiovascular issues. Nicotine also causes extreme addiction, which influences the addiction in these cancer-causing tobacco products. Since smoking was first reported as being detrimental to the health of smokers and non-smokers alike, we have lost countless lives. It is estimated that since these reports, we have lost a predicted 20 million people to smoking-related diseases. Nicotine should carry part of the blame for these countless smoking-related deaths. While nicotine is not believed to cause cancer directly, without the addictive properties found in nicotine, the argument could be made that without the inclusion of it in these products, smoking would not be seen as appealing or addictive, and the diseases and cancers associated with smoking would be cut back exponentially. Electronic cigarettes, commonly referred to as e-cigs or vape pens, have been increasing steadily in popularity. It is seen as especially popular among the younger demographic. E-cigs are seen as one of the cool new trends and is advertised as such. Commercials for e-cigs, vape shops, and other electronic cigarette products is advertised over the radio, online, and through all social media platforms, getting through to their target demographic. As seen in the provided chart, electronic cigarettes have been rising greatly throughout the last decade. While it has been reported that sales of cigarettes have been decreasing in recent years, the number of adults using electronic cigarette or vape products have been increasing from just over 5 million at the start of the decade to exceeding 40 million. It is estimated that by the end of the decade, this number will have surpassed 50 million adults who are using electronic cigarette products. So why are the numbers for these products increasing so much? Electronic cigarette products are often marketed as safer than regular cigarettes. Vaping is also marketed as more socially acceptable than regular cigarettes without the actual tobacco smoke. This causes many current smokers to take up this new habit. There are reportedly shown to be some benefits from regular tobacco smokers switching from regular cigarettes to e-cigs. This is due in part to cigarette smokers that switch to e-cigs are no longer exposed to the other harmful chemicals found in cigarettes. While we will not know fully the lifelong effects e-cigarettes have on the body for a number of years, there have been studies that suggest electronic cigarettes can be linked to chronic bronchitis as well as lung, bladder, and heart issues. More studies will be needed to see the full extent of these risks. Another concern of electronic cigarettes is the product being a gateway to other nicotine products. The cause of this concern comes from the use of e-cig products such as Juul, which market to the younger demographic. Juul uses their sleek style as well as a variety of flavors to corner the younger demographic market. In recent years, Juul has become the most popular e-cig device on the market. Since its launch in 2015, Juul has risen through the ranks and has become the top Juul product, estimated to be worth a grand total of $38 billion. Other electronic cigarette distributors have taken notice of Juul's success and are scrambling to come up with similar designs and products. With the continued rise of electronic cigarette products, this program would be highly beneficial to the company as a whole. Staff who are no longer dependent on these nicotine products would become more productive as well as healthier in the process. No judgment should be passed at these meetings. They should be safe places for those who would like to take the first steps to quitting these products, as well as learning more about nicotine addiction. While the program is looking to put a stop to all nicotine dependency, early meetings should focus on safer alternatives to tobacco cigarettes or e-cigs. This may include other nicotine products such as nicotine patches or nicotine gum. As meetings for the program progress, successes should be celebrated, maybe even with small incentives, while sharing pitfalls should be highly encouraged as well. When certain setbacks are presented at the program, it should be highly encouraged to find ways around such issues for future reference. As discussed previously, the ultimate goal of this program is to help all workers who wish to be involved kick their nicotine addiction. Another goal of this program is to help educate employees of the dangers of nicotine addiction. While some employees may not be ready to quit their habit, it is important to still leave them informed so it may set them on the right path when they are ready to quit. Thank you for your time today. I look forward to hearing your decision on this chemical dependency program. At this time, does anybody have any questions on this proposed program? That is one way the presentation could have gone. Utilizing other marketing approaches, there are other ways the chemical dependency program could have been presented to the company. The product we are trying to market to the company is the chemical dependency program. There are 3 common marketing approaches that can be utilized. These approaches are the stimulus response approach, the selling formula, and the satisfaction method. The first approach we are going to be looking at is the stimulus response approach. The stimulus response approach would have utilized more participation and involvement from the audience. This would include asking more direct questions, such as, do you think it's important to cut down on addiction? The idea behind this approach being that the intended meaning behind the presentation will show through in the questions. However, some disadvantages are the assumptions that all prospects will have the same intended answers, which will not always be the case. The next approach is the selling formula approach. This approach has a few different steps to it, consisting of awareness, interest, desire, and action. If the chemical dependency program presentation utilized this approach, the program would have had more involvement from the company. This would have included any desires or wants the company may have wanted to include. This approach can be especially difficult to pull off because the steps are not always followed in a timely fashion. The final approach we'll utilize will be the satisfaction method, also referred to as the needs satisfaction customer-oriented method. This approach is also split into stages. The first stage would be identifying the problem. This presentation, it may include asking a question such as, is anyone aware of the employee usage of nicotine products? The second stage is ensuring the prospect that your needs and the needs of the company are the same. The last stage is fulfillment. This demonstrates to the customer how their needs will be met for this product. For the chemical dependency program, this would be fielding any suggestions the company may have. This tends to be the most successful approach due to the amount of company involvement. Thank you for viewing Chemical Dependency on Smoking and Nicotine, a program to help stop addiction. I look forward to your feedback.